everyone likes movies, and for good reason. Movies can be your worst nightmare. They are expensive. They can be full of unwanted ads and commercials. They can buffer, they can break, they can freeze, they can even be offensive. It should come to no surprise that movies have evolved from being dependable entertainment workhorses into just tools for manipulation. This in-shiftification process has been a major issue ever since the first companies appeared. In the 20th century, when the first movies appeared, they struggled with racism. Modern movies haven't gotten any better, except this time they have ads and glitches instead. It proves that no movie is a good movie, even if it's from the Walt Disney Company, one of the most famous of the entertainment industry makers. While people often talk about the horrible criticisms of newer movies, there are some older movies that are no less bad. Has anyone heard of Brother Bear or Oliver and Company? Probably only a few of you guys know these movies. They didn't do well in the box office, and not everyone liked them. Some movies, like Pocahontas, 1995, were originally a box office success, but eventually they got panned down due to racism. Unfortunately, the Walt Disney Company still sells copies of this movie. Its sequel, too, is no less worse. Only the costumes are the highlight. Even so, they are inaccurate and poorly implemented and designed. Let's learn more about the worst movies that the Walt Disney Company has ever produced in its life. First on the list, Pocahontas 1995 and Pocahontas 2 1997. Poor representation of indigenous people, the over-sexualization of indigenous women, and characters calling them savages. Even one of the movie's songs is called Savages. How rude. It shows that corporate greed in the Walt Disney Company has been around for a very long time, and it's just going to get even worse. Contrary to popular belief, the real Pocahontas was actually a child who was forced to marry, not had the permission to do so. Come on, Disney, what are you even doing? Corporate greed appears again. It shows that even during the Disney Renaissance, well, so-called Renaissance era, it shows that Disney really had never recovered. After the 1970s and 80s, Disney just started to produce horrible content. They don't even make 2D animation anymore, and their older movies have gotten overpriced. Disney is charging too much money for their licenses, which encourages people to engage in illegal copyright infringement, which should never be done. Instead of copyright infringement, we should be making non-profit organizations that preserve media and make it easier for people to access. That's what the Internet Archive is for. Can you think of others? Now let's begin and go back into more terrible movies that you need to avoid at all costs, even if you find them for very cheap at thrift stores. The Wild 2006 isn't very well known, and there's probably a good reason behind that. Its animation wasn't that good, and its acting wasn't the best. Forced comedy. It wasn't like DreamWorks' Madagascar. Sure, DreamWorks does sometimes make bad movies, but it's rare. In contrast, the Walt Disney Company is making lots of terrible movies. Like, come on. The plot seems to be unique, but its poor animation and weird designs had discouraged many from purchasing the movie. Critics even said that it tried to rip off the Madagascar movie from DreamWorks. Come on, Disney. You know better. Disney sure is getting lazy, but there are many more poor quality time bombs to come. On paper, Oliver and Company seems to be a really good family movie, but don't be fooled. That picture, that poster, is just for marketing purposes. It's about a kitten that joins a group of dogs, an incredibly diverse array of dogs. It might appear appealing at first glance to dog lovers, but in truth, this wasn't Disney's best movies. In fact, it might be considered one of the worst. It has a thin, predictable plot, and some scenes might be too terrifying for some children. Disney wasn't doing the best during this time. And perhaps that's when the corporate greed first began. And unfortunately, it still persists today, encouraging people to switch to competitors, such as the online Internet Archive, for better, high-quality content. Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, is another movie that's been criticized for its plot, which can be random at times. Mulan 2, 2004, is another bruiser that you might need to avoid. And Mars Needs Moms, a 2011 film that flopped, losing massive amounts of money for the Walt Disney Company. Turning Red, 2022, was another massive flop, and not everyone liked the characters, questioning if we should really be getting these kinds of movies. Elio, 2025, a massive box office flop, and widely criticized for its recycled scenes. Or maybe it doesn't have recycled scenes and probably has original ones, but it's not the best movie if you're a beginner or if you're trying to save money. Kim Possible. It might appear good on paper, and it is for a while, until you notice some inaccuracies. Kung Fu is not Japanese, it's Chinese. Something that Kim Possible failed to recognize. It might just be a waste of time and money for children and adults alike. Mulan, 1998, also has inaccuracies. While Mulan was indeed painted in makeup, she looks more like a geisha or prostitute than an actual woman that's from a Chinese opera. And it doesn't perfectly match the traditional Chinese dress. what other dangerous, poor quality content out there? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Home on the Range. It wasn't that popular, and it was even considered a major flop. Son of the South, 1946, after World War II, was criticized for its racism and stereotypes against African American people. It was soon taken out of sale, but unfortunately many other racist movies continue to be sold by the Walt Disney Company, like Pocahontas 1995. Disenchanted 2022. The costumes may appear massive, poopy, and pretty, but don't let that fool you. The story is weak, and the only platform that it's on, Disney Plus, is full of ads, glitches, and other unwanted electrical gremlins that you definitely wouldn't want for a movie. Why does Disney make poor quality movies? Like the environment, Earth is subject to change, forcing companies to have to switch practices to survive, resulting in poor animation quality compared to previous years. This has been evident in many companies. Look at how cars used to be so reliable. Automakers got greedy and evil, and they're starting to put electrical problems and gremlins all over their vehicles. How rude. Trains definitely deserve more respect than cars. If anything, cars are nothing more than four-wheeled sex workers. But what else makes Disney such a bad company? Obviously, it uses artificial intelligence, posing artistry risks. Its theme parks are overly expensive and too crowded. Its parks have been around since the 1950s and 60s, but they definitely need to be fixed up and about. Disney has gotten too greedy with their amusement parks, making Disneyland and Walt Disney World less appealing to people, and instead they focus on alternatives like Universal Studios, Six Flags, as well as normal Western amusement parks, such as Cedar Point in Canada's Wonderland. Disney definitely should now be approached with caution. Once a reputable movie creator, it is now just one of those greedy competitors trying to survive, who only cares about its own thing. Maybe Disney should go to prison for all of its allegations it did. Companies can be ruthless, and the governments are failing to recognize the consequences, especially those in the United States, which focus more on tariffs than on safety for consumers. Ads, infestations, pests. Disney isn't just a monster, it's a molester that targets money and people's wallets. Even some seemingly good movies may actually have some hidden stereotypes. Watch out, they might be there. Disney loves to dress up its women in massive skirts, but behind that aesthetic is corporate greed, luxury prices for unreliable, poor quality movies, and poor, weak storytelling. Definitely a shell of its former self. If you're looking for a high quality movies, consult a local DVD store, or consider using non-profit organizations like the Internet Archive, or less aggressive streaming services like YouTube, which are more affordable. Sure, YouTube has faced criticism, but YouTube Premium is surprisingly affordable and dependable, so you might want to consider that as your full-time streaming platform. It also tends to have a better video playback than many of its competitors, and offers a diverse array of content. Tubi? Sure, it is free, but it's not as good for many reasons. It doesn't have a paid tier, which can be disappointing for many who are looking for an ad-free experience. And cable. And alternatives to streaming services. Many cables also have ads, which can be a problem for some. And you have to be waiting watching on schedules. Otherwise, you might miss the movie. Examples of cable channels include Nickelodeon, Tea House, and others. PBS Kids is another example. Are you really sure you want to buy another movie? Or you can instead ride the bus, ride your local subway or local metro, or even go to your local amusement park. There's lots of outdoor activities and alternatives to movies that you can do. Try growing plants. Try adopting a pet like a cat or a dog. Those guys are important forms of entertainment, and they actually provide more dopamine than movies. Well, I guess that's my prediction at least. As Earth deteriorates due to climate change, we need to protect our ecosystems, and unfortunately, those companies like to lie and cause trouble. The BCSPCA is a non-profit organization that helps care for animals, but it faces and suffers from the other companies' wrath of corporate greed. PetSmart, Petco, and Petland, which in the United States still sells puppies, including sick puppies, from puppy mills. Puppies are kept in brothel-like conditions, increasing the risk of disease and death. The company who runs the stores doesn't seem to care about animal welfare, and instead only prioritizes profit, similar to a puppy mill. You might not want to get too close to these guys. Instead, prioritize hobbyists, not greedy companies or other unscrumptious breeders. You never know what they can do. They may cause harm. They may destroy the environment. They may unleash invasive species. Who knows what they can do? Any other poor quality movies? Oh yes, Belle's Magical World. It's actually, it's like a cancelled TV series, all bunched into one to create a movie. And unfortunately, it hasn't received a lot of good signs. Another characteristic of Disney's love to cause trouble. Chicken Little, from 2004 to 2005. Chicken Little relies too much on popular culture, such as Aliens, unlike many of its predecessors, which rely on more unique monsters. This one just relies on plain old aliens. So why bother? Encanto, 2021. It might be a box office success, but it's not without its criticisms, and some people might find the grandmother a bit too aggressive and tragic, meaning that it's better suited for adults or older teenagers. The same goes for Turning Red. Ming is a bit too aggressive. Any other dangerous movies? There's many awful movies. You definitely don't want to come across these guys. Here's one, The Jungle Book 2. It's not as good as the original, and therefore less people are willing to pay for it, limiting its availability. Why bother paying for a poor quality movie? That should be put on archive sites, not be out for sale. A shadow of its former self. Disney sure has gotten the aggression. But who else? Any other bad movies? There's gotta be more. Here's the honest price. No Disney movie is perfect. Even well-known ones like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Mulan all have their own criticisms and inaccuracies. Unless you're really in love with the characters, you might want to be careful handling with Disney. Don't expect Disney to be a reliable, family-friendly companion. It's a corporate entity that will always will and always have a desire for profit, as it's a for-profit corporation, which is exactly why people don't like the Walt Disney Company, especially now. Competitors are coming. Disney is starting to lose its reliability, and people are now seeking elsewhere for movies, trying out new platforms. And many other movie studios tend to have greater movie diversity, especially those from independent and niche ones. Look at Studio Ghibli. They have produced so many good quality movies. Aniplex also made the highly acclaimed Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba movie. Sure, it has received criticism and does have its flaws, but its style and flashiness definitely makes it unforgettable, as well as its accuracies in Japanese culture and traditions. Now that we moved out of the Disney section, maybe there should be a reason on why you shouldn't be getting any movies at all. Racism. Many older movies, like those from World War II, portray other countries, people, ethnic groups, or nations as racist entities that cause harm, even though it isn't really true. It was a stereotype that frequently plagued movies from this era. And modern movies, which have ads and glitches and other stuff and inconsistencies which also need to be worried of. The best movies depend on your priority. Consult an experienced moviegoer and ask them which movie best suits the budget. Because most people don't have the money to pay for all of these expensive movies that might end up just being a waste of time. Are they really a good source of entertainment? As we explained about shiftification in the last video, we have learned to discover that movies have been continuously degrading in quality ever since the first movies appeared. As the older companies lose their reputation, new ones form. Eventually, those newer ones eventually get older and lose their quality, which then rises to even newer studios. This is the shiftification process. The rising and downfall of competitors at a continuous cycle. Some of these older companies may stay alive, or they will shut down. It looks like there's going to be no more. Fragmentation, inflation, and especially corporate greed are making movies costly, expensive, and difficult to obtain, resulting in the loss of movies available. No one wants to have to pay hundreds of dollars a month just to access their favorite movies. And many movies are now out of print, which means that you won't be able to find them new in most DVD shops. Instead, you'll either have to buy an online copy, which could be hard to store safely. Not all countries have the right to preserve and make backup copies. In Canada it does, but in the United States, no. So you need to adhere for copyright laws. Some countries are better suited for movie preservation than others, like Canada over the United States. Could Disney be a pirate site? Disney might be secretly encouraging piracy, and that Disney may just be a pirate on its own, and that Disney just likes to outcompete the smaller streaming companies that prioritize profit too. Netflix, Crunchyroll, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime Video are all invasive, aggressive streaming platforms that prioritize profit over reliability and dependability, which is causing serious concerns for moviegoers. And nonprofits aren't easy to find, and often get targeted by the larger, aggressive, for-profit companies. It's a battle zone. World War III, essentially. It's no longer the combat you saw in the past. Instead, it is taking place all over the internet. Companies use money to invade other companies, exploit their assets, and make massive profits while abusing laws, meaning that even though so-called legal streaming services may actually be giant piracy sites in disguise, and the governments don't seem to know about that. The invasive nature of dangerous companies is definitely probably the biggest reason why we should not be producing just bad movies, but even the popular movies. Because here's a special fact that you need to consider. You don't own your movies, regardless if it's online or on disc. You don't own them. Even physical media. You own the disc, but you don't own a movie. What you really own is just a license, and it can always be rejected. There have been reports of people losing their movies, having their purchased movies infested with ads, and be forced to have to pay more for the same movie that they had just purchased full price before. This never-ending battle of having the right to have movies means that maybe it's better to definitely seek alternatives. It can cost thousands now just to have a small collection of movies. Instead, you could fly across the Pacific Ocean, or ride on a train or some sort, or take a long-distance bus. Any more signs of corporate greed? Yes. Paramount may not even put all of its movies on disc. Instead, they'll lock them behind Paramount Plus, which will make many users frustrated like you, and may increase copyright infringement cases. Those definitely troublesome companies. And it doesn't affect just movies. Corporate greed affects art. Remember Norval Morrisseau? That indigenous artist that painted those unique styles? His art is being faked and pirated by greedy art galleries and dealers, which is a serious issue. Corporate greed means that even the so-called legal companies are actually pirates in disguise. Unless we can do something about this, we're going to have to surrender all of our movie purchasing together. It's right for a physical item to cost a lot of money, but something that is very fragile and delicate, then come on, why even bother? Yucky companies, greedy companies, monsters in disguise. They only want money. They don't care about anybody. Just plain old money. Again and again and again. There are also other cases. Some streaming companies underpay artists and employees like Crunchyroll and Spotify, simply because they want to keep more of their money. This is illegal, and if companies keep doing this, and the artists are not being paid enough, it can be considered true piracy. Streaming services are turning into giant criminals that can't be easily controlled, meaning that you might need to have military or police to have to come directly into the company's main office and shut it down completely. Some greedy corporations exploit kids like Roblox and Hoyoverse, the Chinese company who made Genshin Impact. Belgium has laws that restrict gacha systems and loot boxes, which means that the game had to be off-listed. You cannot get Genshin Impact in Belgium from legal sellers like the app stores. The game may not be inherently illegal to play, but the practices that it does, including those on children, definitely mean that this game is definitely more of like some kind of online brothel. In the United States, Genshin Impact was even been fined $20 million, forcing the company to have to put restrictions for people living in the United States. Children need to have permission in order to use Genshin Impact. Otherwise, they could end up falling victim to addiction. Roblox is of similar means. Roblox uses tactics to encourage kids into spending money. Games that Roblox encourages force people to purchase unnecessary things, resulting in a loss of money. All that money is now given to Roblox and the greedy developers. This is a major concern. No one wants to have to pay for a game that only wants your money. It's like as if it's from a horror movie of some kind. Why bother playing Roblox? And the clothing in Roblox Royal High is too expensive. It's better just to get a job and purchase real clothing instead. Games on Roblox now even use ads to boost revenue, which is definitely another factor of corporate greed. So many in-app purchases. So much so that Roblox has even been banned in Turkey, Russia, as well as being restricted in the past in the United Arab Emirates. Jordan also prohibits Roblox. But they're doing this for good reason. They're protecting their population from the devastating harm and manipulation tactics that Roblox and other platforms use. Maybe it is good to have some harsh rules. It encourages companies to learn their lesson. No one wants to have their company suddenly cause harm, taking over the environment. What do you think? Any ideas that we can do to stop corporate greed? And this is the end of our corporate greed talk. Surprise, surprise, our talk with the Walt Disney Company isn't over just yet. Because there are so many bad movies out there that you need to steer clear of them. Even more so than the ones that we've already took a look at. Strange World from 2022 is a major box office flop due to its LGBTQ plus themes that not everyone likes, unfortunately. I'm happy Disney is trying to make good movies like these, but too bad they ended up flopping. Poor company. Then we have Wish 2023. This movie was supposed to celebrate Disney's 100th anniversary, but it flopped. Disney is losing lots of money. Lots and lots of money. Its movies always seem to fail, even if they make original content. Disney always seems to flop. In 2025, they made the new live-action version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It flopped too. Disney was originally going to make a Princess and the Frog TV show, but it was completely dismantled and cancelled. There were many other canceled projects within the Walt Disney Company. For a variety of reasons, including to save money, racism, or just corporate greed or private for themselves. It seems that the golden age of animation is over. And even those golden age animation are hard to get and are not easy to obtain. Well prized special editions. These movies are going to become very expensive to buy, even when used. You might want to purchase them if you can, because soon Disney movies are going to disappear from physical media shelves. Disney had laid off all of its employees regarding the Disney Home Entertainment Division, meaning that they will no longer be producing Blu-ray discs or DVD video discs. It seems rude, but perhaps Disney might be losing so much money, and there's more that meets the eye. Disney is saving costs by using artificial intelligence technology. Perhaps people were wrong that Disney had so much money, and perhaps that's why so many people are so angry. They think Disney has a lot of money, when in fact, Disney is losing money. A lot of money. It's not as profitable as it once was, forcing Disney to have to do questionable decisions. In such a fragmented world, filled with dangerous companies, there's definitely no reason to buy a new movie. Instead, purchase physical items. They are expensive too, but they offer better value and last longer. Well, except for cars. Cars are nothing more than four-wheeled molesters. Monsters. Everywhere. They are dangerous companies, lurking to feast on your money and wallet. So how can we fix that? By providing dependable access to movies worldwide and developing non-profit organizations that dedicate to showing movies for free without any harmful ads or no ads at all. Yeah, like that, and while still support copyright artists through donations and other licensing things. And since it's non-profit, it will be a dependable, reliable source dedicated to providing high-class, quality entertainment. Internet Archive is one of them, but there should be more out there too. Even some YouTube competitors have dismantled ads and replaced for more support through a more non-profit like manner. And how's that for fun? While the streaming services turn into real pirates, the non-profits kick in and begin to tackle and slowly outcompete the big streamers. So many greedy companies: Twitter, the Walt Disney Company, Electronic Arts, Capcom, Hoyoverse, TikTok, Sega, Rovio, Google. While Google is not as aggressive as some others, it can still be formidable if not properly curbed. Amazon Prime Video, Warner Brothers Discovery, Nickelodeon, Paramount Skydance Corporation, Ubisoft, Sony Group Corporation, Apple Inc. Sure, it's not as average as some of the other companies, but it can still be very formidable. Duolingo, Spotify, PlayStation, Crunchyroll, Tesla, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Toyota, Meta, Facebook, HBO Max, HBO Max. So many dangerous, greedy companies that once were valued for their reliability, but now have turned into greedy slobs. Quietly taking over the United States of America, and they're spreading to Canada, to Europe, to Asia and Australia. Watch out. Everywhere where you go, you won't be safe from dangerous companies. They'll always be lurking everywhere, and you can't stop them. A real corporate greed infestation. Even Nintendo, Ford, and Comcast are aggressive too. So many dangerous greeters. The averageness has completely taken over the United States and elsewhere. It's time to leave. Go. Select a competitor and hide. Visit independent shops, non-profit organizations, and use less aggressive streaming platforms if you can, like YouTube Premium and Apple Music and Apple TV. All the others? They're simply too aggressive and greedy and avaricious. All they care about is ads, not welfare. And that clearly will begin developing legal action against the monsters. So many killers, wounding consumers. Now that's horrible, horrifying, freaky. Nature's on our side too. Plants that grow rapidly and offer food Streaming services don't offer much besides movies, so why bother? Plants provide better value. You can even sell your plants and make more money out of them, which can then be used to purchase movies full time. Infestations. Well, of course, we shouldn't be repeating that, but it's always important to remember the key corporate greed vocabulary. To know if a company is reputable, check its business practices, the reviews, and identify its motives, whether if it's a non-profit or a for-profit. And check ad frequencies, revenue, and stock. If the stock appears too high, and if there's dangerous, unethical business practices involved, it might be a dangerous monster. And unfortunately, there's so many of these molesters lurking around, hiding, waiting to strike. What about independent studios? Independent content is content made without depending from a large company, usually made by a smaller group and made with less money. Today they're becoming increasingly popular since they're often free or cheap, easy to obtain, and they're becoming more widely available throughout the internet. Examples include Alphabet Lore and its sequel, Number Lore, which provides surprisingly good storytelling despite being low budget. And new incoming developments that are going to change the industry forever. We should be excited about them. You are not alone. People have always been struggling dealing with dangerous monsters like these. So it's important to be less reliant on them. If you want me to be serious, you might even want to call them horrors. Dehumanize the greedy companies and allow the rise to the non-profit organizations and independent studios. Libraries are also another amazing alternative to streaming services. They are cheap, affordable, and they're known to last a long time. Except you shouldn't be going to shadow libraries. Those are illegal and engage in unethical practices. But legal libraries like the Internet Archive, then those definitely are what we should be going for. Everything, including copyright law in the United States, is a mess. And that's affecting everyone. Copyright law in Canada is more seemable, but even they may be questioning if they should change it of some kind. So many. Okay. So why aren't there enough people help? Streamers must be too dominant, and many people like to support the dangerous companies too, which is definitely going to soon become their big mistake. might not be able to unsubscribe from your streaming service. They'll keep you having to pay as if you're in debt bondage, requiring to have to remove your card and instead use pure cash. Imagine how terrifying that would be. You pay for a streaming service, you then cancel, then the company just charges you over and over again. Looks like streamers are nothing more than giant whores. Not horrors, whores. Dehumanizing these monsters is important and vital to help our ecosystem survive. Join our plan, and we can abolish these evil companies together and save the planet.